1. The brand of the book. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy is not only a timeless literary masterpiece, but also a systematic exploration of philosophical and sociological thought that delves into the deepest aspects of the human soul. Published in 1878, during a time when Russian society was caught between two opposing extremes, feudal tradition and the waves of modernization, Tolstoy used the tragic love story between Anna Karenina and Alexei Vronsky as a central axis to explore the complex relationship between the individual and society, emotion and reason, the desire for freedom and moral constraints. The work goes beyond merely describing the inner conflicts of individuals. It also serves as a lens through which to observe the functioning of social structures. Tolstoy systematically develops characters, each representing different values, ideologies, and the transformation of the era. Through these, he highlights how society shapes personal decisions while pointing out the flaws and contradictions within these very norms. More than just a tragic love story, Anna Karenina raises important philosophical questions. Does individual freedom truly exist in a society filled with pressure and prejudice? Will love, when detached from responsibility and morality, lead to happiness or destruction? Levin, Tolstoy's own reflection, is a living metaphor for the search for meaning in life through labor and connection to nature, creating a perfect contrast to Anna's tragedy. For readers who appreciate deep thought and logical analysis, Anna Karenina is an essential read. It not only provides a moving story, but also serves as a spiritual map for the journey of discovering identity, values, and one's role in a complex and ever-changing world. Reading this work is entering a maze of thought where each layer of meaning is intricately and logically connected, inviting the reader to reflect and face themselves. 2. Summary of the book. General summary. Anna Karenina revolves around two main storylines that reflect profound contradictions in 19th century Russian society. The tragic story of Anna Karenina and Count Alexei Vronsky is central, where their intense love not only shatters Anna's family structure, but also challenges the moral standards and social pressures of the time. Anna, caught between the desire to live authentically with her emotions and the constraints of a conservative society, gradually falls into an inevitable tragedy. At the same time, Tolstoy develops the story of Levin, a wealthy but lonely landowner who represents an entirely different philosophy of life. Levin struggles with basic philosophical questions about existence, religion, labor, and love, creating a philosophical counterpoint to Anna. The intersection of these two storylines not only reflects personal conflicts, but also highlights the complex portrait of society, where personal emotions and social duties constantly clash. Through these conflicts, the novel opens up profound layers of meaning about human nature, the role of love, and the search for meaning in life within a world full of contradictions. Part 1. Love and Personal Freedom. Anna Karenina embodies the yearning for personal freedom, an impulse to transcend the rigid societal norms of the time. In 19th century Russia, society was shaped by strict moral codes, where women were bound by familial duty and social expectations. Anna's emotional outburst, spurred by her love for Alexei Vronsky, is not just an act of defiance against these traditional boundaries, but a symbol of the conflict between authentic emotion and values imposed by the collective. Anna's journey from her immersion in love to her eventual tragedy demonstrates the cost of choosing to live authentically in an environment that does not tolerate difference. For individuals like Anna, love is not merely a connection between two people, but a means of asserting one's identity and finding meaning in life. However, this love, when faced with the harshness of society, becomes a double-edged sword, both liberating and destructive to her life. From an analytical perspective, Anna's story reflects a major paradox. Personal freedom, the very thing everyone desires, often comes into fierce conflict with social responsibility. In the social structure of the time, Anna's right to self-determination was seen as a threat to the stability of collective values, isolating her and making her a target of judgment. Anna's tragedy is not only rooted in being rejected by society, but also in the internal imbalance between emotion and reason within herself. She seeks a life of absolute freedom, yet cannot navigate her emotions under societal pressure, leading to her internal collapse. Social philosophy and morality. Through Anna Karenina, Tolstoy not only tells a tragic love story, but also paints a panoramic picture of the social structure of 19th century Russia, where traditional moral values, gender roles, and conservative prejudices dominate all aspects of life. In this context, Anna Karenina stands out as a challenge to the rigid social system, where individual freedom is subordinated to collective duty and unreasonable moral expectations. The structure of morality and gender roles. Tolstoy depicts a stratified society where women are confined to fixed roles as devoted mothers and loyal wives. These restrictions are legitimized by traditional moral values, where sacrifice and obedience are considered the highest virtues. When Anna decides to break these norms and pursue a love affair with Vronsky, she is not only labeled a traitor, but also stripped of her right to exist in society. The price Anna pays, her isolation, the loss of honor, and personal tragedy, illustrates the brutal functioning of the collective moral system, where any deviation is crushed. Prejudice and collective power. The society Tolstoy describes is not a just system. Collective power is manifested in public judgment, which has the ability to destroy the individual by manipulating moral norms. This is particularly evident in the way Anna is treated, while Vronsky, a man, does not face the same social consequences as she does. This is not only a critique of gender inequality, but also an illustration of how society uses morality as a tool to control personal freedom. The conflict between collective morality and personal freedom. The tragedy of Anna is the consequence of an irreconcilable conflict between personal desires and social responsibilities. Tolstoy raises a crucial question. Does collective morality genuinely serve the common good, or is it merely a form of oppression to maintain societal order? Anna represents those who dare to challenge this system, yet her failure underscores a harsh reality. Societal structures often do not tolerate individuals who break free from the mold. Application to social analysis. Anna's story serves as a quintessential example for analyzing how social structures impact individual choices. Tolstoy constructs a system of characters and situations to illustrate the operation of collective morality. Anna is not merely an individual, she is a part of a larger system where each of her actions triggers a chain reaction within society. This provides a vital lesson about evaluating social systems not only by their surface values, but also by how they affect the individual within. Tolstoy uses Anna Karenina as an ethical laboratory, where he tests hypotheses about the balance between personal freedom and social responsibility. The work forces us to ask, can a society built on prejudice and collective power truly be sustainable? And in such a system, is there room for individuals who dare to step outside the framework to live authentically? These questions remain valuable, especially when viewed through a critical and deep analytical lens. The search for the meaning of Levin in Anna Karenina is not only a philosophical counterpoint to Anna Karenina, but also a vivid representation of the search for meaning in life in a world full of change and contradictions. Levin, with his inner struggles and ongoing self-questioning, offers a profound perspective on how one can find happiness and purpose, not through social recognition, but through labor, love, and inner harmony. Labor, connecting humans to nature. Tolstoy places labor at the heart of Levin's journey, as a reminder that the deepest meaning of life can often be found in simple but genuine activities. As a landowner, Levin spends much of his time working on the farm, managing the estate, and interacting directly with the laborers. However, for him, labor is not merely a means of production, it is a way to connect with himself and the natural world. Through Levin, Tolstoy conveys a powerful philosophical message. Labor is a way for humans to confront their own limitations in a vast and uncontrollable world. It brings not only a sense of completion, but also reshapes his view of life, helping him escape inner confusion and find a form of freedom that transcends societal standards. Family, love, joy, and simple things. If labor is where Levin finds philosophical meaning, then family love is where he finds emotional peace. His marriage to Kitty is not a perfect love story, but a series of challenges and learning experiences. Levin learns to move past unrealistic romantic expectations and accepts love as a process of building and sharing. Tolstoy does not idealize family love, but points out that in this complex world, sincere love and connection with family give Levin a sense of belonging, something that other characters in the story cannot achieve. Through simple moments, such as caring for children and sharing family meals, Levin realizes that happiness lies not in perfection, but in authenticity and the ability to appreciate small things. Religion, faith from self-inquiry. Levin's journey with religion is not a sudden conversion, but a result of prolonged self-inquiry. Initially a skeptic, Levin does not find answers in traditional religious systems. However, through personal experiences, particularly when facing life-defining moments like death, birth, and love, he begins to recognize a greater force beyond human understanding. Tolstoy does not use Levin to promote a specific religion, but to show that true faith does not come from following imposed rules, but from harmony with human nature and the universe. For Levin, faith becomes a natural state, a way to confront life's big questions without needing absolute answers. Conflict between the internal and the external. One of the philosophical depths Levin brings is the contrast between the internal and the pressures from the outside. Tolstoy paints Levin as someone who constantly struggles with the disparity between the values he pursues and the expectations from Russian high society. While many characters like Anna are caught up in the whirlpool of superficial social values, Levin gradually realizes that true meaning does not lie in external admiration, but in harmony with the values he truly cherishes. Meaning in balance. Levin's journey is not about achieving perfection, but about seeking balance. He does not abandon his philosophical questions, but learns not to let them dominate his life. He does not completely detach from society, but refuses to let society define his worth. This balance, though fragile, gives Levin a form of sustainable happiness, one that Tolstoy implies we all can achieve if we turn inward and cherish what truly matters. Levin, with his imperfect steps, becomes the embodiment of a human journey, searching for meaning in a chaotic world. Through Levin, Tolstoy does not provide a final answer, but leaves us with a message. The meaning of life is not an endpoint, but a process of discovering and redefining ourselves each day. Happiness, therefore, is not something found externally, but something we build from within through labor, love, and harmony with ourselves. The tragedy of loneliness. The death of Anna Karenina represents the culmination of a series of psychological and social wounds, not only the result of personal choices, but also an inevitable consequence of the complete isolation she faces. Tolstoy portrays Anna's loneliness as a universal tragedy, raising profound questions about the nature of social acceptance, isolation, and the close connection between these factors and mental health. Social isolation, when society becomes the enemy. Tolstoy describes a society where moral values and collective norms are elevated as the sole measure for evaluating individuals. In this context, Anna, by breaking moral and societal boundaries to pursue a love affair with Vronsky, immediately becomes an object of judgment and ostracism. Social opinion, likened to an invisible yet powerful force, not only strips Anna of her honor, but also pushes her into a state of complete isolation. Tolstoy skillfully emphasizes that this isolation is not merely a personal issue, but a consequence of an intolerant society, where any action that challenges the status quo is seen as a threat to societal stability. Rejected by society, Anna loses her place among the aristocracy and is cut off from social connections, leading to an ever-deepening sense of loneliness and despair. Psychological isolation, the internal struggle. Isolation does not come solely from the outside, but also becomes deeply embedded within Anna's psyche. Tolstoy portrays a complex psychological journey where Anna gradually loses connection with herself. Initially, her love for Vronsky gives her a sense of freedom and fulfillment, but societal pressure and inner conflicts slowly turn that love into a source of anxiety and doubt. Anna becomes trapped in a cycle of guilt, doubt over Vronsky's loyalty, and the fear of abandonment. This psychological isolation causes Anna to lose control over her life, leading to cracks in every aspect of her being, emotionally, rationally, and spiritually. Tolstoy raises an important question. Can an individual survive and thrive when cut off from both social support and inner peace? The relationship between social acceptance and mental health. Anna's death raises significant questions about the role of social acceptance in mental health. Tolstoy shows that no matter how strong a person may be, they are ultimately dependent on their relationships with others. The absence of social connection not only strips life of meaning, but also creates unfillable voids in the individual's psyche. Anna, despite seeking personal freedom, ultimately becomes a victim of a society that does not accept difference. Isolation not only destroys her relationships with others, but also erodes her self-esteem and sense of self-worth. Her tragedy serves as a profound warning about the consequences of separating individuals from the community and the necessity of building a more inclusive society where individuals can exist without the pressure to conform to rigid norms. What do we see? Through Anna's death, Tolstoy creates a symbolic tragedy of loneliness and isolation in society. Anna is not just an isolated character, but represents those left behind by harsh societal norms. Her story raises a crucial question for humanity. Can we create a society in which mutual acceptance and support replace judgment and exclusion? Tolstoy leaves behind a message that, for individuals to truly find meaning and integrity, we need an environment where they are accepted and uplifted, rather than isolated and destroyed. Analysis of the social system. Through Anna Karenina, Leo Tolstoy not only tells a tragic love story, but also constructs a complex societal model where each character represents a part of the larger societal picture of 19th century Russia. He creates a dynamic interplay between social classes, from the extravagant aristocracy to the humble peasants, to explore the profound divisions and the influence of the class system on human behavior, thought, and fate. Social structure and class division. Tolstoy portrays Russian society as having a clear, stratified structure, where the aristocracy is at the top, holding power, wealth, and the ability to shape social norms. Characters like Anna Karenina and Alexei Vronsky represent the upper class, privileged with social advantages, but also constrained by strict moral and societal rules. Meanwhile, Levin, a landowner with an independent mindset, serves as a bridge between the aristocracy and the peasantry, embodying the simplicity, honest labor, and connection to the land that characterize the lower class. Tolstoy uses this social structure to reflect how power and class positions shape the fate and choices of individuals. For example, despite her outward appearance of freedom and power, remains trapped within the rules of her class, where honor and social standing take precedence over personal emotion. In contrast, Levin, by staying close to the working class, seems to find a peace that other characters cannot achieve. Interactions between classes. Tolstoy goes beyond merely depicting the independent existence of the social classes, delving into how they interact and affect one another. He subtly points out that while the classes are clearly divided, they remain dependent on each other to sustain the social system. The aristocracy, despite controlling power, still depends on the labor of peasants to maintain their luxurious lifestyles. Meanwhile, the peasants, though bound by submission, are the backbone of production in society. Levin, central to connecting these two worlds, offers a deep insight into the mutual but unequal dependency between the classes. He realizes that for society to achieve greater harmony, there must be a change in how both classes view each other's roles. However, Tolstoy does not provide a clear solution, but leaves open questions about fairness and the potential for transformation within this system. Class and internal unrest. Tolstoy also illustrates an important reality. The class system not only creates external divisions, but also causes internal unrest within each class. For the aristocracy, the pressure to maintain status and conform to societal standards leads to crises, as seen in Anna and Vronsky's cases. On the other hand, the peasant class, though less burdened by societal expectations, is trapped in cycles of poverty and dependency. Through these internal conflicts, Tolstoy emphasizes that no class truly achieves integrity within the existing class system. It is a functioning model based on polarization and conflict, where every class must sacrifice some degree of freedom and potential to maintain societal stability. The social system as a living system. Tolstoy does not view society as a static entity, but as a living system where classes continuously interact and evolve. The characters in Anna Karenina are not merely representatives of their respective classes, but are agents within a complex system, where every action and decision triggers a chain reaction. For instance, the relationship between Anna and Vronsky not only affects them, but also stirs up turbulence within the aristocracy, shaking the very social rules upon which this class relies. In this way, Tolstoy invites readers to reflect on the dynamics of societal systems, emphasizing how individual actions reverberate through social structures and highlight the contradictions inherent in the class system. Anna Karenina becomes a powerful lens through which Tolstoy critiques the moral, social, and psychological frameworks that govern his world. Conclusion: through his construction of a complex social model in Anna Karenina, Tolstoy not only explores class divisions, but also raises profound questions about fairness, mutual dependence, and the transformative potential of social systems. He leaves behind a message that, although society may appear to operate smoothly, beneath the surface are ongoing conflicts, and change is inevitable. Tolstoy's portrayal of society is not only a reflection of 19th century Russia, but also a universal lens, encouraging us to reflect on social systems across all eras. In Anna Karenina, Tolstoy does more than tell the tragic story of Anna. He sets out a series of philosophical and societal questions at the core of humanity and society. Anna Karenina, in her journey to pursue love with Vronsky, challenges the entire value system of 19th century Russian society. However, her tragedy lies not only in defying the rules, but also in her profound loneliness, as everything she builds collapses due to the lack of balance between personal freedom and harmony with society. In contrast, Levin, who constantly questions the meaning of life, finds his answers not in fame or recognition, but through work, family, and connection to nature. Tolstoy uses Levin to demonstrate that true meaning does not lie in challenging or complying with society, but in aligning with one's true nature through simple yet profound relationships. The story of Anna and Levin is not just a dichotomy of two fates, but also a living model full of contradictions. You may find yourself in Anna's inner struggle between emotion and reason, or in Levin's unanswered questions about the true value of labor and love. Tolstoy does not offer a definitive conclusion, but invites you to enter that world, to reflect, analyze, and face the larger questions of your own life. If Anna Karenina serves as a cautionary tale about the cost of losing connection with society and oneself, Levin offers a resolution that harmony and meaning are not to be found far away, but lie in the simplicity and authenticity of daily life. This is not just a book, but a challenge to both intellect and emotion, where every story fragment evokes pieces that compel the reader to think deeply about their own journey.